Now, it's time for a little R&R.
Ball into the bucket, lays it up and in.
Ball game, Rizzo! Live in the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, this is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
This team is going to be tough when they finally get it together.
Sit back and relax. Let Russo and Rizzo take you home.
Oh, mercy! Light him up, Colin!
Trial number 3 for Russo and Rizzo, off and running in downtown West Palm. Hi, everybody. Colin Russo here. Join alongside me. Mike Rizzo, C-Cat here behind the glass. 106.3, downtown West Palm at the City Place Studios. You can catch it right here on your radio dial, or you can catch us on socials at ESPN West Palm on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. You want to see our pretty faces? We are live streaming there as well. Don't miss it. Mike, how you doing today?
Oh, I'm fantastic, brother.
It's Thursday.
Can't wait for the NFL.
Short week, Labor Day. All of a sudden, it feels like we've been in this
a month.
Yeah. And now all of a sudden, 2 days into the week, we got NFL football tonight.
Oh, I can't wait.
Week 1.
AFC Championship rematch in Arrowhead. Patrick Mahomes and that offense has something to prove, apparently.
NFL kicking off tonight, Ravens Chiefs. That's the highlight of the day. But more importantly, there's NFL basically all weekend. Mm-hmm. You got the Eagles Packers tomorrow in Brazil. And then you got a full Sunday slate along with a very exciting Monday Night Football game with Jets and Niners. We got a packed weekend. And you got Texas, Michigan on Saturday.
Yep.
But talk of the town tonight on NBC and Peacock. Chiefs, Ravens, who, of course, we saw in the AFC Championship game. Ravens coming off a superb regular season. Pummeled down on the Houston Texans. And then all of a sudden dropped the ball against Kansas City Chiefs. Lamar Jackson coming off his second MVP. I think the Ravens have a bit to prove tonight. But you know what? You know how I feel about this? And I'm a big NFL fan. This is not me talking like as a pessimistic NFL fan. I don't feel the hype for this game specifically.
Why though?
Maybe it hasn't been publicized as much as opening nights has been in a while, but we know these two teams. There's nothing new about either side.
But these two teams, Colin, could very likely meet again in the AFC Championship. This is a fun matchup.
So isn't that...
This is a fun matchup where the Ravens have a chance to get a little revenge.
So the way I look at this is last year comparatively, where you started with the Lions. I thought the Lions had a lot of intrigue, right?
Right.
Dan Campbell, they improved. They had a bunch of rookies all over the field. There was a level of intrigue in what is this team. Ravens lost a couple pieces and the Chiefs gained a couple pieces offensively, but this is more of the same. Same coaches, same quarterbacks.
But two of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback.
It's going to be exciting, but I don't know. I'm more wrapped up in that Eagle-Packer game tomorrow. Okay. I think there's a little more of a story there. But I don't know if it's just it hasn't been publicized properly. I don't know if I'm turned off with the Taylor Swift show we're inevitably going to get tonight. I don't know.
Apparently they were breaking up according to some PR firm.
And there was lawyers involved.
What was that?
What a strange. We're so out of touch with that Hollywood style. I don't understand that. What do you mean a PR? Why does she need the PR?
I don't know.
The NFL needs the PR. So the only way that makes sense is if the NFL was paying her $20 million to increase viewership and buzz. She did.
Yep.
I don't buy it though.
Let's put it this way.
I believe in love. I think they have it.
My little cousin started watching the NFL because of Taylor Swift, and I'm sure there are a lot of other,
and she's
female.
Like, is she a young girl?
Senior in high school this year, was a junior last year. So
she's a high school student.
Exactly. But like they're trying to tap into a new demographic. I don't hate on it. But to be honest, Colin, I like Taylor Swift. I'm just kind of over it. If they show her, it's just like if they show her, it's like, oh, great. I used to be like, oh my God, there's Taylor. Now it's just another game.
Are you jumping through hoops because of the game tonight?
I'm jumping.
Sorry, go ahead.
You're fine. I'm jumping through hoops because of the quarterback matchup. That's
what's exciting.
Yeah.
It's not just because it's the first game of the season. Is it just like, first present on Christmas, doesn't matter what it is. It's the ambiance of opening something up and having a good time with that. Like, this is the appetizer. Everybody's excited to eat.
We were together over the weekend, and I told you, I mentioned this yesterday, I thought the NFL should have had a game this past Sunday. Before the Florida State game, maybe even during the Florida State game. Now, I don't know if there was a gentleman's handshake between the NCAA and the NFL going, hey, man, we're going to put Florida State on, which we think is going to be a good team. How'd that turn out, by the way? So don't
leave us alone.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe there was one of those conversations, but I hearing a lot of people talk about it in the national media and the big talking heads, it sounds like there's probably going to be games on Labor Day next year. So it's not necessarily I'm excited because it's game number one. I'm excited because these are two of the best teams in the AFC, and I think very, very much so you're going to see them in the AFC Championship. Hey, Colin, we're going to go through our predictors and whatever later on in the show, but there's a very good chance Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes are doing battle again in the AFC Championship. And you pointed out yesterday that Lamar needs to play better. What Lamar Jackson are we going to see tonight? Are we going to see a Lamar Jackson that's going to have one or two rushing touchdowns and 200 yards and 2 passing touchdowns through the air?
Are you going to notice the differences on offense? You got Derrick Henry in there.
Yeah, and
I think people have forgot about him a bit.
Xavier Worthy, too, is a new piece on this Kansas City team. Kansas City traded up to get Worthy. And a lot of people drafted him highly in their fantasy leagues and are very high on him. He's saying he's going to be the next Tyreek Hill. And I go back to what I said earlier in the show of Kansas City might have something to prove on offense. I saw the headline in the offseason. I thought it was.
Need to?
I don't think so, but I thought the headline was hysterical, Colin, in the offseason when Mahomes goes, yeah, I don't like the way we won.
You win a Super Bowl that because he's great.
You win a Super Bowl, but you hate how you won it. That's why I think this game has intrigue tonight. Because these two teams, I think they're starting not to like each other. I mean, Kansas City doesn't score a point in the second half, and they're still able to win at that giant purple crab cake of a stadium that Seacat, his team is home to. But I'm very intrigued tonight, Colin. I'm on the absolute opposite spectrum of this. I think this is a great game, and I think these are two teams that could be Super Bowl contenders this year.
That's Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo here. Russo and Rizzo live on a Thursday afternoon. NFL football kicking off tonight, 8:20 on Peacock or NBC. Chiefs, Ravens. Number to get into the show, 888-760-3776. That's 888.
760.
760-3776. I was thinking about the chef interview I did a couple minutes ago.
I mean, Colin.
That's another conversation for another day. You'll see that on West Palm tonight. But I interviewed a chef.
5-star meal. 5-star meal today.
I interviewed a chef earlier today. Call it a first. I interviewed a chef about 30 minutes ago. He comes in. I was expecting some cupcakes. We had cupcakes earlier through the lovely Ashley Dorsey helping us out. But I was expecting something easy. He comes in, this chef, who works over at Jupiter Grill up here in South Florida. Go take a look at it. It's a terrific spot. Paul Niederman helped us out. He brings in steaks. He brings in carrots. This doesn't sound like the most appealing, but you haven't seen this guy. This guy can make anything taste good.
Colin,
let's
put it this way. So Colin, did the interview. He wined and dined our great guests. And once again, thank you to our friends for coming on in and feeding us and doing the interview with Colin. But Colin, you should have seen the vultures trying to get after your plate.
I get it.
I had to.
I get it.
Did you see my sign I put on your plate?
Yeah.
I had to put a sign up saying,
leave it alone.
Colin's plate. If you touch this plate, I will find you. Signed Riz. I even put my signature on it. So that's how you know it was official. And I wasn't screwing around.
I can't say I've had too much superb chef fine dining in my life. I was up there. And I just had it over here in the dining area.
We inhaled it, too. By the way, we ate quickly.
Paul Niederman and our pals over at Jupiter Grill here in South Florida, I'll plug it. They were superb today. Excellent interview. We hear that later this week on West Palm tonight. You can find that in your podcasts. It will be airing, I believe, next Thursday.
And shout out to our teammate, Jess.
Jess
set it up.
Jess set it up. It was superb. Nonetheless, Chiefs Ravens tonight. I got sidetracked. I'm sorry. The food was too good. And that I don't get.
The players eat that kind of food, Colin.
They do.
You know what I mean? They're eating that good.
His father was the chef for the Jets in the 60s. That's Namath. That's Joe Cool. 1969 Jets, Super Bowl III. That is history.
Joe Namath is probably the coolest NFL player ever, right?
Gotta be. Point is, I think tonight, circling back, tonight, I don't really feel the hype as much as I probably should. And maybe it's because this international play has taken some of the steam away. Do you feel this at all? I feel like this international game has taken some of the story.
I agree with you. I think, in a sense, the NFL maybe should have just started on Friday. Like, I know Thursday, Colin, has been a thing for a long time. Thursday has been now the Amazon game. Before that, it was on NFL Network. I know the NFL owns Thursdays now. But I think they could have capitalized on not having a Thursday game and just having the full launch of the season on Friday in Brazil. Now, am I angry about it? No. I get football Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday now. How cool is that? Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, I'm getting football. Now, obviously, college on Saturday, not technically NFL, but I love it. As a football fan, I love it. I'm covering a high school game tonight. I'll be at Oxbridge tonight. And by the time I'm done, I'm going to be able to catch the second half.
You'll catch before that. We'll see. See if Oxbridge shows up. Nonetheless, poll question up on Twitter at ESPN West Palm. Make sure you go vote. What primetime game of NFL Week 1 are you most looking forward to? There are 4. They have tonight, the opening game. That's Ravens-Chiefs. You got tomorrow in Sao Paulo. You got Packers technically at the Eagles, despite both of them going on a 10-hour flight. Then you shift to Sunday Night Football, where you have a replay of a terrific playoff game last year in the Rams and Matthew Stafford visiting the Detroit Lions. And then finally, you have our pal Aaron Rodgers taking on the Niners on Monday Night Football. Which of those 4 are you most excited for? I'll say one thing. I think out of the 4, I think I'm the least excited for tonight. And I think it's because we know what these teams are.
You love that Rams and Lions matchup. I couldn't care less. I couldn't care less.
I'm a Jared Goff guy. I'm a Stafford guy. That's got some history to it. Detroit's going to be into it. I love McVay and Dan Campbell. Both teams are going to be good. Great playoff game last year. Sign me up for that. There's intrigue.
We're going to be biting kneecaps and drinking tall venti coffees over here, Colin.
What about you? Are you tonight?
This is an easy one for me. It's an easy one for me. It's Monday Night Football. It's the redemption of Aaron Rodgers. Yeah. It's the 49ers.
That's got to be number 2.
It's the 49ers proving everybody wrong. I can't tell you how many people, Colin, I've talked to that go, yeah, the Niners are done this year. Why? Why are the San Francisco 49ers done? They re-signed Trent Williams. They re-signed Brandon Ayuk. The last time I checked, they still have Christian McCaffrey. The last time I checked, Brock Purdy is still on a contract where he's making no money in NFL terms. They're going to be very good. They got a good defense.
Are they not due for that age to catch up to them?
No. This is I had sound of Peter King a couple of days ago. We never got to it. But Peter King kind of had the take you did of the Niners have to do it this year. I agree with that. I don't think they're done this year, but I think if they're going to do it, it has to happen this year.
Once you pay Purdy,
you're done.
All the dominoes are going to fall.
You're done. So I think it's this year. And because of that with the Niners, because of the whole Rodgers thing we talked about a lot yesterday, I think that is the game of the week. I don't even think it's close. The redemption of Aaron Rodgers on Monday Night Football.
There's an intrigue.
Not to mention either our host of Questionable Call, Josh Cohen, he brought up on his show that Leonard Floyd, who injured Aaron Rodgers, is now on the 49ers. We have that storyline too.
That's interesting. I something about that Rams-Detroit game. I can't put a finger on it. Something about that game. There's intrigue.
I guarantee you, when this poll comes out, it'll be dead last. By the way, if you're watching us on YouTube, it's right there. Dead last.
Poll question on Twitter at ESPN West Palm. Which is the biggest primetime game that you are most looking forward to this week? Tonight, Ravens-Chiefs. Tomorrow in Sao Paulo. I think there's intrigue there just because of how they're going to run that game and fans and how that's going to all go out. You got Eagles-Packers tomorrow. You got Detroit taking on the Rams on Sunday night. And then you got, of course, the aforementioned Aaron Rodgers making his triumphant return for the Jets and taking on the San Francisco 49ers. You're listening to Russo and Rizzo live here at City Place Studios in downtown West Palm, ESPN 106.3. Go answer the poll question. We're going to take a look at some results. Next, you listen to Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Sports fans, it's the best time of the year. It's fall when everything is happening. Football's back. Fighting gets real. Baseball playoffs. Get ahead of the action. Plan your time now to be at Twin Peaks, the ultimate guys lodge, the ultimate sports lodge. Never ever recover to watch any fights, any MMA, UFC, or boxing pay-per-views. Always watch for free. Of course, the eats, the drinks, the signature scenic views, and of course, Twin Peaks 29-degree ice-cold beer made from scratch favorites like their burgers, wings, mozzarella bites, and so much more. Happy hour weekdays. Take advantage of $5 man-sized drafts. And remember, never ever pay a cover to watch any of the fights. Your official UFC fight headquarters is your official football headquarters all week long, all season long. Eats, drinks, scenic views, 29-degree beers. Twin Peaks, the ultimate guys lodge for everything sports.
Hi, this is Blaine Isbell, Corporate Vice President of Team IP. For over 30 years, Team IP has been a national leader in decorated apparel and promotional products. National corporate brands and 22 college bowl games, including the Boca Raton Bowl, make Team IP their partner of choice. Team IP, located right in our community in Stuart, is a proud partner of ESPN West Palm. Contact me anytime at 877-821-8643 or head to teamip.com and take the first step in making Team IP your team to boost your brand.
PNC Bank is committed to making a difference in the lives of the customers and communities they serve by helping them move forward financially. As a Main Street bank, PNC is always working to make it easier for their customers to achieve their goals and plan for the future, whether that's through innovative digital solutions or in person. PNC is proud to be part of the South Florida community. See how PNC Bank can make a difference for you at pnc.com/tech. PNC Bank, National Association, member FDIC.
Hey, it's Josh Cohen for the Accident Attorneys, Anajar and Levine. Car accidents, truck accidents, slip and fall, trip and fall. Did you get injured on the job? Workers' comp problems? My friends Mark Anajar and Glenn Levine, they will fight for you. Remember, they do not get paid unless you get paid, and they will fight to get you the maximum compensation you know you deserve. Here's what you do. You just call. Call Anajar and Levine for your absolutely free consultation. Do not settle for just any attorneys. Demand Anajar and Levine, and demand the Anajar and Levine difference. It takes just one phone call to begin to take back control of your life. So do that. Take back control of your life. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-FREE. 1-800-747-3733. Anajar and Levine, Accident Attorneys. Take back control of your life.
Tee up your taste buds with the ultimate pairing, great food and golf. Theo Dorsey here at The House in West Palm Beach. Overlooking the park's world-class 18-hole golf course, The House offers coastal American dishes that will satisfy anyone's palate. The House is open Thursday through Sunday for lunch, brunch, and dinner. Stop by for an entree and receive a free round at the park's The Lit 9 Par 3 course. On The House. Visit thehousewestpalm.com for their full menu and to make reservations.
Hey, Shot, I know you be hearing this and that from here and there, but please trust and believe, little mama.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Russo and Rizzo continuing on here on a Thursday afternoon, early evening. Ravens, Chiefs, kicking off the NFL season tonight, 8:20 in Kansas City. You can find that at NBC or Peacock. Colin Russo, Mike Rizzo here at the City Play Studios in downtown West Palm. C-Cat helping us out behind the glass. You heard him before with Theo Dorsey on Theoretically Speaking. You can hear that 2 to 4 weekdays on these very stations and these very airwaves. Nonetheless, poll is up on Twitter at ESPN West Palm. Should I say X? Is that the formal way of saying it?
X.
Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. The poll is up. Which primetime game are you most looking forward to this weekend? Is it Ravens-Chiefs tonight? Is it Eagles-Packers tomorrow? Is it Rams-Lions on Sunday night? Is it Jets-Niners on Monday Night Football?
Well, for you, it's no doubt. There's no doubt about it, man. That Rams and Lions game, baby.
It's a classic in the playoffs, so I have high hopes for that. Nonetheless, the early voting, all right. I'm surprised by
and
this.
You know I'm right.
46% of the vote at the moment going to Ravens at Chiefs. I'm surprised by that.
I am too, to be honest.
Jets, Niners coming in at 31% right after that. Packers, Eagles, 15%.
And where are the Rams and where are the Lions?
8%. Is that 1 or 2 votes at that point?
Yep.
That might be me. So, Rams, Lions. I don't know why people don't see the, see the appeal.
Matthew Bradford and Jared Goff going against their former teams. By the way, I know it's Stafford.
So,
it's the joke, Bradford.
Let me get your thoughts on both the teams that are playing tonight. Let's start with Kansas City. 2 Super Bowls in a row. Of course, just 5 years of essential dominance. They haven't really shown many cuts. It's really only Brady who has shown kinks in the armor.
Mm-hmm.
No Brady. Nobody's been able to beat him. Burrow, if you want to count that one time. Nonetheless, your expectations for the Chiefs, are they due for a drop-off? They're going to be motivated for that three-peat. What's your take on that?
I think they're going to be just fine. I think they're most likely going to be representing the AFC again. When you have a quarterback that's on Patrick Mahomes' level, Colin, you're usually competing for a championship. I know we're going to be going through divisions and Super Bowl and predictions, so I'm not going to spoil anything, but I think they're going to have a really good year, and I think it starts tonight. I think the worthy kid is going to be in the offense early and often tonight.
How do you think Kelsey's going to be?
I love Trav.
Outside of the postseason, I thought we saw a little bit of father time from him.
You know I love Trav. Cleveland Heights kid, Cleveland Heights, a high school in Cleveland in my backyard. I love Travis. I didn't take him. Let's put it this way. I had an opportunity to take him in a fantasy league. I didn't. I think his numbers are going to be down, but he's still Kelsey. Like, he's still going to be among the league leaders in with tight ends and yards and catches. I just don't think he's going to be leading the league in receptions.
He's not going to have that 120 reception season.
And I think, I think he's, believe it or not, closer to retirement than coming back. Does that make sense? I think next season he's closer to retirement than coming back.
Especially with Jason gone, and he's got this podcast deal.
And it's lighting
whether
up.
Whether this Taylor Swift thing ends in a lawsuit or a wedding ring remains to be seen.
I'm fascinated to get C-Cat's take on this during the 5 o'clock hour, because he was the one who actually brought it up to me. And I don't know. Is it a PR stunt? Was their thing a PR stunt?
Maybe. I don't think so, though.
I don't think so either.
I believe in love. Nonetheless.
What is love?
Point is, so you think the Chiefs are poised to run it back?
I do. I think the Chiefs are poised to run it back. I think the Ravens are a top 3 team in the AFC. So that's why this matchup is juicy. That's why I don't look at this game and go, oh, it's just not there for me tonight.
Don't you think
it's there
destined
tonight
for a rematch? Like, it's almost like this is going to happen again.
What's Derrick Henry going to be, too?
That's an interesting story.
Derrick Henry, talk about chink in the arm. Kelsey. I don't think there's another running back in the NFL that has more miles on his body than Derrick Henry.
But there's nobody in the league who has been able to handle it as good.
I'll say this:
better than Derrick Henry.
Ezekiel Elliott has a lot of wear and tear on his body too. Dallas ruined that guy his first time around there. He's ironically back in Dallas, but we'll see. Are we going to get the All-Pro Derrick Henry, or are we going to get a step back Derrick Henry?
Interesting. Ravens Chiefs tonight, 8:20 kickoff, NBC and Peacock. We're talking about that the whole show. But right now, I want to get a little bit of an inside scoop into what Mike Rizzo thinks about his division winners in the NFL this year. Of course, we got the AFC, we got the NFC, maybe a couple sleepers here, maybe a couple flyers. I'm going to give my picks as well. But for the AFC to start, Mike, I want you to give the 4 divisions your 4 division winners. Let's put it that way.
Okay. AFC East. I'll start in the East, partner. We got the Bills, we got the Dolphins, we got the Patriots, we got the Jets. I'm going with the Buffalo Bills. I think that Keon Coleman turns into a good wide receiver in Buffalo. I think I saw enough of him in Florida State last year to think he's going to have a good season with one of the best quarterbacks in the league, Josh Allen. Sean McDermott, a defensive head coach. I think they're always going to be disciplined on the defensive end. The one thing I'm worried about, are they going to be able to establish a run game? I could argue that Buffalo has not had a consistent rushing attack outside of Josh Allen improvising and running.
Maybe that's part of the running attack.
Maybe it is, but I need to see James Cook turn into a darn near all-pro back and a Pro Bowler. Partner, I'm going with the Bills in the AFC East. What say you?
I'll stay in the AFC East as well. I understand the Bills stuff, and I'm a big Josh Allen guy, but I talked about it a little earlier. Aaron Rodgers.
Don't pick the Jets.
Give me the Jets to steal the AFC East this year. It's not going to be the Dolphins.
Wow.
Dolphins are going to start 4-0 like they always do, and then all of a sudden the weather's not going to be 88 and sunny, and they're going to collapse upon themselves and their knees are going to fall apart. That's what's going to happen with the Dolphins.
You're going with Salah?
I think that is going to be a sneaky competitive division. Bills have a harder schedule. Dolphins will have a harder schedule. The Jets, they have a chip on their shoulder. They have a lot to prove. A New York backing, if they're solid, will do a lot for Rodgers' he's going to be confident, but the rest of the team's confidence. They got some young talent. They got a revamped offensive line, and they got Aaron Rodgers pissed off. Dangerous. Give me the Jets to take the AFC East. Let's shift. We'll end at the North.
I can't believe you just picked the Jets, but
let's get this out of the way. The AFC West.
I mean, it's the Chiefs and everyone else.
Let's not dance around it.
It's the Chiefs. I will say that
that's a bad division.
My hot take, I think the second best team in this division is going to be the Denver Broncos.
Okay. I'm not as high on the Harbaugh stuff either.
Neither am I.
Weirdly enough, watch the Raiders win a couple
Brian
games.
Rowitz's Las Vegas Raiders, by the way.
Watch them win a couple games. They play hard for the coach. And Minshew, nobody steals a game like he does. And that's...
What do you mean they're going with Aiden O'Connell,
I know,
thought.
but it's going to be a committee, let's be honest. O'Connell's going to last a quarter and a half.
You know the famous saying, if you got two quarterbacks, how many do you have?
If Minshew is
0.
on the roster, he will be on the field at some point in the season. That is what he has done his whole career. You will see him before the end of the year, and he's going to steal a couple games. Watch it happen. I'm agree. Same way. AFC West, going to the Chiefs. All right, let's shift to the South. This is my neck of the woods, but I want you to lead us off.
I'll lead us off. I'm going with the Houston Texans. I am buying the Texans. I am buying Stephon Diggs there. I am buying Daniel Hunter being the top edge rusher in Houston. I love what they did in the offseason.
Returning coaching staff,
and they added veteran running back Joe Mixon. Give me C.J. Stroud. Give me the Houston Texans. I think they win this division by about 2 games, Colin.
I see. All right.
I think they're clearly the best team.
I'll give my negative on the Texans before I get into Jacksonville. But with I've alluded to it a couple of times now. I'm a Jacksonville fan. So let me just make that abundantly clear if this is going to be a hint of where I'm going with this. The Texans were the most reliant team on third and long last year. I think that's a recipe for some danger. They were a vertical passing team. I think Stephon Diggs is not that big of an ad when you think about it, and I say the same thing with Joe Mixon. I think the biggest thing in their offseason that's a positive is returning their offensive coordinator, Bobby Slowik. I think that is going to do them wonders in terms of offensive consistency, especially for a quarterback that's entering his second year. That sophomore slump, I could see it happening. And I'm going to buy low. I'm going to sell high on the Texans, and I can see them slipping a little bit.
Tank Dell, Nico Collins, Stephon Diggs,
there's no doubt they're going to win.
Schultz.
There's no doubt in my mind they're going to win 9-10 games. But I feel like we've seen this before. I'm going to go with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Call me biased.
Wow.
I understand it. I'm
The
biased.
Silver Fox, Doug Peterson.
Here's some stats. On third down last year, the Houston Texans, they had 11 touchdowns to 3 interceptions on third down passing last year. Most of the league is 3-3, 6-6. Texans, 58% on passing, 1,400 yards, which came in second in the league behind Miami on third down passing. That, to me, is concerning.
What happened at the end of the year, Colin?
With the Texans?
With the Jags.
Oh, okay. The Texans got killed, but I know the Jags, but they were 8-3.
That's why I question
think they've improved from last year. Jacksonville is returning Lawrence. He's going to be healthy. That was the reason that all went to crap. They had a bad play caller who's still there, not to my liking, but they had a bad play caller and Lawrence got banged up. They got rid of Ridley, who was not working out for them. They replaced it with Brian Thomas Jr., the rookie receiver out of LSU, and Gabe Davis, a guy who's been relatively consistent for the Bills the last few years.
Okay.
Watch them. They got no expectations. Watch Jacksonville turn some heads. Not as hard of a schedule as Houston. Give me the Jacksons.
none of us, by the way, none of us taking Indianapolis and Anthony Richardson. I think Shane Steichen is a heck of a head coach as well. I think they could have a decent record, maybe flirt with a playoff run, but I can't not pick Houston here, and I understand why you're picking the Jags.
Okay, let's shift to your neck of the woods. Let's go to the AFC North. What say you?
I was hoping you'd start this out. I know C-Cat joins us at 5. I'm going Ratbirds. I got to go Ratbirds. Lamar Jackson, I think, is I don't think he's the best quarterback in the division, as crazy as that sounds, but he always plays to an MVP caliber. He's always going to put up the regular season numbers.
They're going to have a good defense.
They always have a good defense, and I think I'm confident in saying this. I think they have the best coach in the division, in John Harbaugh. I can't get away from the Harbaughs with the khaki pants at Michigan for years and John in Baltimore. But give me the Ravens. I really think Derrick Henry's going to play well, even though all that wear and tear. And I think Lamar is probably well on his way to winning his 3rd MVP.
Agree with this. I'm going to go with the Ravens on this one as well. I don't love Lamar in a big game, but if anything he could do well, he could do a regular season well.
Can I touch on my Browns real quick?
Go.
If Deshaun Watson is good, I think the Browns win the division. I just don't think Deshaun Watson is going to be good, and that's what.
Do you have them placing steadily at 2nd or behind the Bengals here?
I think 3 teams win I think 3 teams make the playoffs from the division, similar to last year. Last year, you had the Ravens, you had my Browns, you had the Steelers all in the playoffs. I think 3 teams in the division make the playoffs again. Don't ask me who, though.
That's Mike Rizzo
Don't ask me who.
Saying 3 teams from the division making the playoffs. My name is Colin Russo. Russo and Rizzo live here on ESPN 106.3, downtown West Palm at the City Place Studios. That was our AFC divisional predictions on the winners. Let's do NFC quickly. All right? We don't need the bed music for this, I don't think. But let's start with the East. I feel like there's...
I'll start us off. Can I start us off?
Please.
Dallas. I got Dallas. I know you're very high on Philly.
I like Philly.
As we know yesterday. But give me the Cowboys. Talk about a regular season team, right? The Cowboys, similar to the Ravens, are a very regular season heavy team. I think Dak Prescott in a contract year is going to play very well. I think he's going to be up there in passing yards, passing touchdowns, all of that. CeeDee Lamb got paid. You know, I know last year he had the most receptions in the NFL. I'm not saying he's going to have the most receptions in the NFL this year, but he's certainly going to be a top receiver in the NFL. We'll see about the run game.
You like McCarthy?
I don't like McCarthy. I thought McCarthy should have been fired 2 years ago. They're going to miss Dan Quinn? Yeah. Possibly. Their defense is so good, though. Like, I know that Jordan Love and the Packers had a field day.
Diggs, yeah.
I like Bland, too, the guy who had all the interceptions for touchdowns last year. Parsons is still an absolute animal. I like Dallas in this division a lot. And I'm Colin, I really do like Dallas's offense. I do.
Yeah, let me flip on this. I'm a Dak Prescott guy too, but I think the Eagles, I like the vibe of people who have something to prove. And I think the Eagles fall under this umbrella due to all the negative connotation. The Cowboys get this every year with the negative connotation. But the Eagles, for a change, have gotten the disarray, unorganized, lackadaisical, not performing to expectation. They finally got that this offseason, and I think they're going to be pissed off because they brought in some vets with the coordinators in Fangio and Kellen Moore. Sirianni, as long as he stays out of the way, I think they'll be okay. And I'm impressed with Hurts's obsession to improve. Because of this, and we all know how much talent they have, because of this, give me the Eagles on this one. I think they're going to start. I
love Sirianni, Colin. Yeah. I do. I like Sirianni.
I'm not a huge Sirianni guy, but I'm a huge fan of their coordinators.
I think
so. If Sirianni stays out of the way, I think that's when they'll be successful.
I think that Sirianni got a bad rap last year. I think he was trying to press a little bit with his coordinator. And then Colin,
Brian Johnson and him were butting heads on what play call we're on.
How can't you, though, be that much hands-on after you lose 2 guys who went on to be head coaches? Like, I understand why Sirianni did it. And hindsight 2020, no wonder he brought in new guys. Overbearing. For sure. I just wonder if that relationship with him and Hurts is as kumbaya as it's being reported. Right?
The NFC West, you think this one's pretty easy? I think this one's pretty easy.
Yeah, I think the San Francisco 49ers, similar to the Texans, win this division by about 2 or 3 games. Now, I know people love Los Angeles. I know you're a big Stafford guy.
I'm a big McVay guy,
too. Our buddy JMP, who works in studio with us, too, he's a big Stafford guy. And I listen, the 2 head coaches I'd go with in the NFL, Shanahan and McVay. I don't even think it's close. I just think they're kind of lacking for talent.
They're going to miss
Aaron
Aaron Donald.
is nice. Don't get me wrong.
They're going to have healthy Cooper Kupp.
Well,
Kyron Williams back.
For now.
They have a revamped offensive line. The problem is defensively, they're going to miss some pieces.
Can I have a bold statement? I'm not buying the Kyron Williams. Not at all.
I don't think the running back situation is as important as people say.
The reason I'm saying a bold take.
They got Blake Corum. What about Blake Corum?
And that's what I was going to say. That's the take I was trying to get to. I think Blake Corum takes control of the backfield at some point this year.
Good player.
Who was it last year? Remember 2 years ago, everyone drafted the Rams running back in the first round, and he didn't even play? Cam Akers. Yeah. Thank you, C-Cat. Cam Akers. Everyone drafted him in the first round, and he didn't even play. So I could see that happening with this Kyron Williams.
McVay knows how to win. McVay's, like you said, one of the best coaches in the league. I will take that, but I agree with this.
No Donald? Retired, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
I have a weird feeling they're going to replace his production better than most teams would. But still, give me the Niners in this one. Most talent, most experienced, best coach, something to prove. I'll take them. NFC South. I think this one's pretty easy. I'll start this one. Atlanta Falcons.
Wow.
People are down on them. I have them as an over on the year, 9.5. The Falcons' back half of the schedule is amongst the weakest in the NFL that I've ever seen. And I go through this. I love the schedule game. That's one of my favorite games to play. Here's Atlanta's final, let's go, 8 games. So they play the Cowboys on November 3rd. The rest of the season is as follows. Couple road games, but think of the opponents. At the Saints, at the Broncos, home against the Chargers, at the Vikings, at the Raiders, Giants at home, at the Commanders, Panthers at home. That is 8 teams that will not be in the playoffs to finish off the season. A couple road games, but you got to think that a couple of these teams are going to be essentially tanking half in the bag at this point. I think Atlanta, situationally, is in a very big spot to make some noise. Cousins, I think he's really, really underrated as long as he's healthy. And their defense is probably going to stink. They lost their defensive coordinator. They lost some talent. But they have Bates. They have Simmons. They have a couple guys in a couple spots that can get them to steal a couple games. Plenty of offensive talent. Give me the Atlanta Falcons for the NFC South.
I'm going to go with the Buccaneers. They re-signed Mike Evans. They re-signed Baker Mayfield. And gosh, I can't, rewind last year and the things I was saying about Baker Mayfield being a Browns fan. But Baker has matured. Baker has proved that he's the starting quarterback in the NFL, and he has the contract to prove it. I also like Tampa Bay's defense better than Atlanta's.
Do you think that they're going to feel the loss of Dave Canales going to the Panthers?
Possibly.
I think they will.
Possibly.
I think that would be.
But I think they have veterans like Baker, like Mike Evans. Veterans on the offense are going to be able to get things going. And I like Rachaad White. I think Rachaad White's a nice running back. They still got Tristan Wirfs. They have a good offensive line. I don't think
They're older.
I don't think any of these teams are going to win a game in the playoffs. Now I know Tampa Bay did last year. Put some respect on them.
Well.
They beat the Eagles at home.
Played well,
and we know that they're going to have a home game if they do win the division. But give me Tampa Bay, Colin, because I think top to bottom they're the best team.
I'm surprised you're not as high on the Falcons as I am.
I'm not. I'm not a Kirk Cousins guy. My hot take with the Falcons is Cousins will get hurt, Penix will step in, and you'll never see Cousins again.
But even if Penix comes in and plays well,
even with that contract, I don't think you see Cousins again. If
a lot of talent offensively.
If Cousins needs to stay healthy for his sake,
a lot of talent.
If you heard it here, partner. If Cousins gets hurt, Penix is going to come in, play solid for 2 or 3 games. You're never going to see Kirk Cousins in Atlanta.
I don't know. They paid him too much money. He's definitely going to play. They paid him too much money. But nonetheless, let's shift to the north side of things. NFC North. I feel like this one is fairly straightforward, but I could see a couple options here. NFC North, I'll let you take this one.
It's the Lions. The Lions, I just got done saying Tampa Bay is the best team top to bottom in their division. The Lions are the best team in their division. I'm not a Jared Goff guy. I don't think Jared Goff will ever be able to win a Super Bowl. But the defense is good enough. They have 2 good running backs in Jahmyr Gibbs and Montgomery. Great wide receivers in Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jamison Williams. The Sewell kid on the offensive line. Colin, when I say I don't think Jared Goff can win a Super Bowl, I mean,
it's close. He didn't play well.
Let me explain it, though. Because I know a lot of our listeners are probably confused. I say Goff can't win a Super Bowl if he has to go out and get the game-winning drive. I don't think he's capable of doing the game-winning drive, but I think this team is good enough to be up like 2 scores in the fourth quarter and to be able to win. Fair play to the Lions for sticking with Goff, paying him,
and surrounding him with a plethora of talent.
Exactly, and telling their whole organization and their fan base, hey, we believe in this guy. This is our guy. Colin, sorry for taking so long. Rewind to the NFL draft. In the NFL draft, it was in Detroit, and the Lions players came out and started chanting Jared Goff. That's camaraderie. That's a culture. That's why I think the Lions could be in line to win a Super Bowl and come out of the NFC.
Well, they were close last year. Goff was close enough with the Rams. I just like Goff because he's a good floor raiser. Goff is a keep everything in front of you quarterback. And he's not going to try to get cute. He knows who he is. But he's capable. They love the crossing routes with it. They return their Ben Johnson, which was a big get back. And their offensive line is going to be superb. They're going to run the ball well. I agree with this on the Lions. I'm not as high as the Packers as everybody else is. And I think the Bears are going to be solid as well.
Similar to the AFC North. I could see 3 possibly teams getting into the playoffs in the NFC North. Now, the Vikings are done. You agree? The Viking season is over with no Kirk Cousins. With no Kirk Cousins and no J.J. McCarthy.
They'll win a couple games. Good coach.
But they're not going to the playoffs. I think the Bears, Lions, and Packers, all 3 of them could very well be in the playoffs come this year.
There you have it. That's Rizzo and Russo. Wow, we flipped it up there. Our divisional winners for the NFL, our future picks on who's going to take home each division in the NFL, the NFC, AFC. A couple differences there. Well, actually, a lot of differences.
Very much so.
I think we had 4 different picks.
Yep.
Which is surprising, but nonetheless, Russo and Rizzo live here on ESPN 106.3 and on socials at ESPN West Palm, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook. You can catch us there if you want to see our pretty faces. That's where you go. CCAT helping us out behind the glass. Those were our futures picks. I want to see who he's got as a champion. We'll get into that in a little bit more. MVP, Offensive Rookie of the Year. I want to see what Mike has to say about that. We'll get into that and more next. You listen to Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Fall in love with your favorite sweet treats at DQ Grill & Chill. Featuring the blizzards of the month, pumpkin pie with world-famous soft serve, real pumpkin pieces, whipped topping, and nutmeg. Or the French silk pie blizzard, combining all those iconic velvety rich flavors, plus new blizzards on DQ's fall menu, such as caramel Java chip, Reese's Pieces cookie dough, and salted caramel truffle. If that's too much and need a quick kick, try the new DQ White Mocha Shake. DQ Grill & Chill with 2 locations, 4828 Lake Worth Road, and US 1, just south of Northlake.
Kaiser University's flagship campus, the 100-acre residential campus at 2600 North Military Trail in West Palm Beach, extends Kaiser University's educational offerings to over 100 degrees in the heart of South Florida. Kaiser University also has an athletic program with 20 national championships, including the 2024 Women's Swimming and Diving Championship and 2023 football, lacrosse, and men's swimming and diving titles. Visit KUSeahawks.com for the latest.
Is racking up tens of thousands of dollars in student loan debt really worth the 4-year degree? Not a lot of people think so anymore. A recent Wall Street Journal poll found that 56% of us believe that a skills-based education, that's a smarter investment than a 4-year degree. So why waste that time and money when there's an alternative right here in North Palm Beach that teaches the skills that people can actually use in today's world, and you can get those skills in just months, not years. I'm talking about CSB Media Arts Center, the home of Connecticut School of Broadcasting, which provides hands-on training in audio and video production, podcasting, sports broadcasting, social media marketing, filmmaking, coding, and so much more. For over 60 years, CSB has placed thousands of graduates in careers. Take a moment and visit GoCSB.com to schedule a tour. That's GoCSB.com.
The annual Boca Raton Bowls ABC Supply Great Chefs Tailgate Showcase, presented by Boca Raton Innovation Campus and CP Group, heats up on Tuesday, October 15th from 6 to 8:30 p.m. Join me, Theo Dorsey, with ESPN West Palm at Brick in Boca Raton as dozens of local chefs, breweries, and cocktail masters serve their favorite tailgate classics. Tickets are on sale now. Visit spiritofgivingnetwork.org/events to purchase your tickets today.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Russo and Rizzo live here in downtown West Palm. 888-760-3776, the number to get into the program. 888-760-3776. If you have your own divisional predictions, Super Bowl predictions, NFC, AFC champion, let us know. 888-760-3776. The phone lines are open. Mike, we talked about our divisional winners last segment. Now I want to get a sense of how you think this upcoming NFL season that kicks off tonight with the Ravens and the Chiefs, how it's going to conclude. How I'm going to do this and structure this, I want to get your NFC champion, AFC champion,
okay,
Super Bowl matchup. Who's going to take it home? You take it away.
Okay. AFC, I got the Chiefs. NFC, I got San Francisco. Rematch. Who wants a rematch? Round two.
More importantly, who wants to root for a rematch?
Fight.
Why are you rooting for that?
Because San Francisco gets their revenge. I think San Francisco finally gets it done this year.
If they lose 3 times,
a lot of people, Colin, including our very own Theo Dorsey, who I love dearly, he thinks it's more likely the Niners don't make the playoffs and get back to the Super Bowl. So I'm not buying the whole Niner doomsday thing. Now, if someone gets hurt, if someone gets hurt, like say a key player, say Brock Purdy gets hurt, forget about it. But if they're healthy, I think they win the Super Bowl this year.
Health, I think, is a big problem with them due to the age of a lot of guys.
Like
on that
Bosa
team.
has been hurt in the past too. So, but give me San Francisco. I'm doing a rematch. I'm very boring. I think the Chiefs get back. I think San Francisco gets back, and I think San Francisco wins the Super Bowl.
So, on the flip side of things, I do not think we will ever see a matchup like this ever again, but this is the matchup I'm going to go with. My NFC champion, the aforementioned Detroit Lions.
Wow.
I like the Lions. They're the only playoff team, that blatantly improved on all fronts. The Lions had 2 or 3 things to address coming out of last season. 1, they needed to get older. They had a lot of rookies playing a lot of snaps for them, and they figured that out. Another year older. I'll mix that in with health. Jameson Williams needed to be healthy. Jahmyr Gibbs was a little banged up early in the early onset of the year. He needed to get healthy. I think that needs to figure out. Another thing, their secondary wasn't very good. What'd they do? They go to the draft. They get 2 guys in the secondary now. I believe they got Terry and Arnold from Alabama.
I mean, the secondary was
terrible.
It was terrible, and they tremendously improved it through the draft.
And they got Brian Branch, has a second-year guy from Alabama as well. That secondary is going to be better. We know how good their linebackers and edge rushers are. Then what they did is they bolstered up and got Zeitler, the right guard, to bolster that offensive line even more. They did everything right. Another year of Laporta. That team, if all health stands and they're healthy.
Can I play devil's advocate real quick for you and the Lions? What happens if Dan Campbell tries to be the WWE personality that he tries to do?
You don't think he learned from that last year?
Colin,
I think he did.
Hang on.
I'm not saying he's not going to be that because he's very proud.
They are who we thought they were.
Did you see his Applebee's commercial? It was quite funny.
Colin, he'll never change. He'll never change, buddy.
I think he is another guy who is obsessed with improvement. And because of that, I think that as a coach, he will learn from the mistakes of overdoing the 4th downs, using his challenges early, stuff that normal coaches don't do. I don't think he's going to die on that hill. And on addition to that, I think they're wildly talented. They're returning their coaching staff. Sign me up for the Detroit Lions in 2024. AFC title. This is an interesting one. I think they were in line to make a run, and I didn't have them as one of my division winners, so I'm just going to have them go on a run. I'm going to go with the Bengals on this.
Wow.
And
is their defense good enough?
I think they got enough guys to get through, but what's going to happen for me and what I think the Bengals offense needs to go on a run a la Joe Flacco in 2012. No, the defense was a little better back then. But the point is,
Ray Lewis on that
I'm
defense.
alluding to my MVP pick a little bit, which we'll get in a little later. I think that all cylinders are going to click at the right time, and they have a bunch of winners on that team. And they have a bunch of guys who know how to win, and especially a quarterback who is the only one, seemingly, who is unfazed by Patrick Mahomes. Because of that, I'm going to go with the Bengals on this one coming out of the AFC. My Super Bowl champion, I'm taking the Lions. Like I said before, I think the Lions will take it to them. Give me the Lions. Mike Jones, I know he's in the office.
Yes.
Or partnership coordinator. He's a happy man.
And good friend.
Lions. Give me them as my Super Bowl champion.
Dude.
Call it, cut it, seal it, put it up on the wall. I'm going to go with the Lions.
The city of Detroit will burn down.
Needs it.
If that happens.
They need it. And I think the NFL needs a story like that. I think I'm a little over the Chiefs. I'm a little over the Niners. I think I'm a little over the Bills. NFL needs
We're over the Bills blowing it, right?
The NFL needs the Jaguars, the Jets, the Bengals, the Lions. They need the Eagles. That's what the NFL needs. That's what I'm going to go with. I have a gut feeling about it.
We have a lot. I got to say, and I'll get C-Cat's opinion on this too at 5, Colin. We have a lot of Viking fans in this chat right now on YouTube. The Vikings are doing
Are they going after you for saying the Vikings
They're coming
stink?
after me. Jonas says Vikes all the way. My guy Sam Darnold going to lead us to the Super Bowl. And then we have like 3 chats before this talking about the Vikings. What's going on, man?
Must be a couple
Sam Darnold, Colin, Sam Darnold, over under 6 wins. Over under 6 wins for the Vikings.
So what's your biggest problem with the Vikings? Let's get that.
The quarterback. Sam Darnold, are you kidding me? Come on, Colin.
What is it? Listen, I don't think they're going to win 8 games. I don't think they're going to win 8 games.
Did Sam Darnold play for USC last year? Like, what are we doing? Sam Darnold's a journeyman who will never figure it out in the NFL.
What about the head coach? Good head coach.
Dude, that guy does too much. That guy does too much.
You're not a Stefanski guy.
No, Stefanski.
What about
Stefanski's on the Browns.
No, I'm sorry. Kevin O'Connell. Excuse me, I always mix them up.
O'Connell, because you want to know why? They're like one and the same. But I love Stefanski because I'm a biased
You're not a
son of
Justin
gun.
Jefferson guy.
Who's going to get him the ball?
Darnold.
Dude, he's going to pull a Stephon Diggs this year and be throwing hissy fits on the sideline when he's catching like 40 yards a game.
So you're not high on the Vikings.
I am not high on the Vikings. I'm not high on Brian Flores either.
Okay,
and the situation going on there with him bashing Tua, suing the team, it's an awful look.
He took the high road on that.
He took the high road on it. You want to know the problem? He's suing the Dolphins for unlawful firing.
Well, that's a whole other thing. But
exactly.
On the Tua situation, he did.
I don't think the defense is nearly good enough either. They go, we've made improvements.
Okay.
Jonathan Grenard, you got rid of Daniel Hunter and you added Grenard.
Let me get your thoughts on a couple other things. Personal player awards. I want to start with the MVP, and we'll go down the list. Who's your MVP?
Josh Allen. Josh Allen got voted he was the most overrated quarterback, was it? Or
I did see that, which I completely disagree with.
Completely disagreed with that. He actually trolled about it on radio stations and on his social media. I'm going MVP Josh Allen. I think that with Stephon Diggs out as well, I think he has a lot to prove. I think he is going to go for it all regular season and in the postseason. Granted, I don't have him getting it done because I have the Chiefs getting back. But give me Josh Allen as my MVP. I think he puts up crazy numbers.
I feel like this is a cookie-cutter answer from me, too. But Burrow, I alluded to it earlier before. I think that this team could win 10, 11 games. And the Ravens might get their 12 or 13. But Burrow, I think, is going to put together his most complete season yet. Cut down in the turnovers. Stay healthy. And I think he's in good position. I think the voters need a change of pace. So give me Burrow on this. And I want to let's do both of them grouped together. Offensive and defensive player of the year. Rizzo, who are you going with?
Offensive player of the year, give me Tua. I think Tua throws for crazy numbers again. I think Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle ball out. I think Tua will win offensive player of the year. And then I'm biased. The back-to-back, baby! Player of the year, Myles Garrett. Take that, C-Cat! Ratbird! Give me Myles Garrett.
End of the mic, please.
Take that, you Ratbird!
All right. Offensive player of the year. I'm surprised he wasn't as much consideration. Tyreek Hill. An unworldly offensive season.
Don't they love giving this to quarterbacks, though, Colin?
Yeah.
Right? Don't they love giving this award to a quarterback?
Yeah, but I think the MVP is going to go to the quarterback. So give me Tyreek Hill on this. Defensive player of the year, he's improved. I'm surprised that this hasn't come up. He's improved every year in the NFL. He plays for a bad team, sure, but high output, and he's never missed a game. Max Crosby.
Okay. Hey, dude, if you're
14 and a half sacks last year.
If you truly think that, go on Hard Rock Bet and make that bet right now. You're probably getting crazy odds, right? You're probably getting insane odds on Hard Rock Bet for Crosby.
Okay.
You should, dude, sprinkle like 5.
I think he's probably the third best odds. It's probably him. It's probably Garrett, Watt, then probably Crosby.
Go. Just a little sprinkle. Well, Salt Bay, if you're watching me on YouTube.
Yeah, I did. 4 years ago.
It's a little sprinkle.
4 years ago.
Yeah. I've never seen him. I just know the.
All right. Here's the interesting part. I think I know where you're going to go with this. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Defensive Rookie of the Year. Of course, that's Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo, Russo and Rizzo here live on ESPN 106.3. Offensive Rookie of the Year. Let's start there. What say you?
I got to go Caleb Williams.
I think
I might have screamed at C-Cat and called him a rat bird because he roots for the Ravens, but I think he'd agree with me.
I'm a Caleb guy, too. I'm taking devil's advocate on this one. You know who I think's going to do it?
Who?
And it's weird because he's sort of slipped. I mean, people like him, but he slipped through the cracks in terms of the conversation because he's quiet. Marvin Harrison Jr.
Oh, wow. Maserati Marv, my guy.
That's your guy. Think about it. Nobody said a word about him because he keeps to himself. He understands how to be a pro.
Well, you want to know the problem right now is that, apparently they're not selling his jersey.
Yeah, I know the Fanatics thing's its whole thing. But in terms of the on-field stuff, he's going to do exactly what he could. He could eclipse 80 receptions at 1,000 yards. If he does that, Caleb has a couple iffy games. They might throw it to him. It's impressive to have 1,000 yards as a receiver. Give me Maserati Marvin. Marvin Harrison Jr. is my offensive Rookie of the Year. Defensive Rookie of the Year. I'm going to stay on this one. We mentioned Aaron Donald losing earlier and the impact that's going to have on the Rams. Jared Verse, the guy they got out of Florida State.
Took mine.
Did I take yours?
Yeah, it's
so
okay.
we're on the same
We're on the same wavelength.
McVay's going to get a lot of it a pass rusher. They're expecting a lot of him. The team's going to be good. And if he is adequately effective as a pass rusher, I think it's going to be pretty lopsided if he has a little bit of stats to back it up.
Raheem, they lost their defensive coordinator.
Yes.
He's now the head coach for the Atlanta Falcons, Raheem Morris. But I'm going with Verse as well. I mean, as an edge rusher, too, you're going to be rushing after the quarterback every play. If this kid has 8.5, 9 sacks, he's going to win.
They're going to be requesting a lot of him.
Yeah.
So he needs to play well. And if he plays well for a good team, I'm okay with it.
Colin, apparently Sam Darnold is in the YouTube chat, and he's saying Dallas Turner.
Okay.
Sam Darnold has apparently entered the YouTube chat.
Right. All right. So Sam Darnold's in the YouTube chat. You can take a look at that at ESPN West Palm on YouTube. Apparently, Sam Darnold's tweeting at us. Mike Rizzo's not a fan of Sam Darnold or the Vikings, but nonetheless.
Hey, man, he's in the chat. He's giving us a watch.
Our MVP picks, I'm going Burrow. He's going Josh Allen. Defensive Player of the Year, he's going Myles Garrett. I'm going Max Crosby. And away and off we go. I want to hear from C-Cat. We haven't heard from him all hour.
Is he alive back there?
I don't know. We're going to find out. We're going to find out next at the 5 at 5. You're listening to Russo and Rizzo on 106.3.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 106.3.
WUUB Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
The big football kickoff week is presented by PNC Bank. PNC Bank is committed to making a difference in the lives of the customers they serve in the South Florida community. See how at PNC.com.
F45 Training West Palm Beach offers functional group fitness classes reimagined. Sign up for F45 today and visit their West Palm Beach location. Featuring high-intensity group workouts that are fast, fun, and results-driven, F45 always has the right workout for you. Not to mention, it takes just 45 minutes. Visit F45training.com today to find a studio near you and officially join the F45 Training family. F45, team training, life-changing.
For generations, hardworking people have relied on Ford F-Series trucks to help grow businesses, communities, families. A legacy of capability and technology that has made Ford F-Series America's best-selling trucks 47 years straight. This is the next generation of Built Ford Tough. Based on 1977 to 2023 calendar year total sales.
Hi, this is Blaine Isbell, Corporate Vice President of Team IP. For over 30 years, Team IP has been a national leader in decorated apparel and promotional products. National corporate brands and 22 college bowl games, including the Boca Raton Bowl, make Team IP their partner of choice. Team IP, located right in our community in Stewart, is a proud partner of ESPN West Palm. Contact me anytime at 877-821-8643 or head to teamip.com and take the first step in making Team IP your team to boost your brand.
Hey, it's your boy JC. We've got the 4 biggest red flags for betting week 1 in the NFL you need to know about. Let's make some money together. Get it right now on the brand new Questionable Call with Josh Cohen. Subscribe. New episodes every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, exclusively on YouTube.
It's been a long time coming. Join us on September 6th for ERA's Night, Hammy's version, at Roger Dean Chevrolet Stadium. There will be bracelet making, a silent disco, a 360-degree photo booth, and more. Come dressed as your favorite pop star from your favorite era, and also enter our costume contest. All ages are welcome. Bring your friends, your kids, and the whole family. Get your tickets today at RogerDeanChevroletStadium.com. Are you ready for it?
Time now for a PNC pause. PNC Bank is committed to helping the customers and the communities they serve move forward financially. See how they can make a difference for you at PNC.com.
Tired of being sidelined by a sports injury? Get back in the game with Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Whether you're a professional athlete or even a weekend warrior, you can get back to doing what you love with our compassionate orthopedic team. Experience a new level of care and get back to your best. Welcome to being treated like a pro. Make an appointment today at baptisthealth.net/ortho or call 833-556-6764.
Attention Canes fans, the countdown is over. Football is back, and your Hurricanes are ready to storm the field for an unforgettable season. This year's roster boasts fresh, dynamic talent. Experience every spine-tingling touchdown, heart-stopping play, and thrilling victory firsthand. Grab your season tickets now to secure your spot at Hard Rock Stadium. Visit MiamiHurricanes.com and lock in your seat before they're gone. Single game tickets are also available. Don't miss out. See you at the game, and go Canes.
ESPN 106.3 is presented by Rubenstein Law. 1-800-FL-LEGAL. Car accident, truck accident, Uber or Lyft accident, or a slip and fall. Call Rubenstein Law. Call 1-800-FL-LEGAL and visit one of our offices throughout Florida.
The annual Boca Raton Bowls ABC Supply Great Chefs Tailgate Showcase, presented by Boca Raton Innovation Campus and CP Group, heats up on Tuesday, October 15th from 6 to 8:30 p.m. Join me, Theo Dorsey, with ESPN West Palm at Brick in Boca Raton, as dozens of local chefs, breweries, and cocktail masters serve their favorite tailgate classics. Tickets are on sale now. Visit spiritofgivingnetwork.org/events to purchase your tickets today.
Now, it's time for a little R&R.
All into the bucket, lays it up and in.
Ball game, Rizzo! Live in the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, this is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
This team is going to be tough when they finally get it together.
Sit back and relax. Let Russo and Rizzo take you home.
Oh, mercy! Light him up, Colin!
Usually the standard when you work at a radio station is the office in which everybody works for that station will have the station on the intercom while you're doing your work, especially when there's 2 local shows a day. You'd think that the people in the office would have it on. It's Russo and Rizzo live here in downtown West Palm at the City Place Studios. My name is Colin Russo. Joined alongside me is Mike Rizzo, CCAT behind the glass. Catch us on socials at ESPN West Palm on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. Having a fun show today, but it just soured my taste. I just went to go take a look, say hello to a couple people in the office, just 25 yards to my left, and there's nothing. I've been here a month, and there hasn't been 1 second I have been in that room in there in the office space where they haven't had the station on.
No, let's call a spade, where they haven't had Theo on.
Hold on, no.
All right?
Carlin
Theo
versus
was on
Joe.
earlier.
I've heard so many hours of Carlin versus Joe, which you can hear 12 to 2 on ESPN National Radio. Unsportsmanlike with Evan Cohen. I've heard plenty of that. I've heard Greeny in the 9,000 replacements Greeny's had the last couple weeks. I have heard nonstop ESPN radio hurling through the halls here, and we go out and they're not listening.
They're not listening. Not only are they not listening, they have a TV with the live stream on it going 24/7. We're not even on the TV. We're not even on the live stream.
Mute the TV.
Live stream.
Mute the TV.
At least keep us on. Give us a view. give us some analytics.
This is why a bunch of phonies in the other room. Mike Jones, like Courtney Rokoff.
And then Jeff's sitting there.
Jeff Greenwald.
Jeff looked at me. I said, why are we? I said, we're not on this. You had Theo on. He goes, well, yeah.
Bunch of phonies.
You said just yeah?
Yeah, no, he goes, no, he said,
that's what happens.
He said, that's what happens when you guys come
now
on.
CCAT chimes in.
Yeah.
Now CCAT chimes in.
Hang on. Did you hear? Hang on. Let me. He doesn't even want to be on the show. I came on. I went on, theoretically speaking, for the crossover, okay? And Theo broke the news to me that CCAT doesn't even want to be on our show.
Wow.
So now I don't feel bad.
Explain this to me. I didn't hear this part, so explain this to me.
I don't know where Theo is getting his information from.
Oh, okay. He's tweeting.
Straight from the horse's mouth.
He's just PR trained in the back room there, in that little box.
Listen, Colin, if you're watching on YouTube, Theo gets balloons.
Yeah, it's the 100th show for Theo.
Cupcakes.
So there's cupcakes,
hang on.
balloons. I'm surprised there's not a band playing somewhere.
There's a mariachi band or something. There's 100 stickers. I mean, what am I?
What is that?
Champagne?
Is that champagne?
We got champagne today. Yeah.
And I can't even get my damn show on the TV.
I agree with this. I'm a little upset by this. I'm going to be completely honest.
What's going on here?
That's a little stupid. Let's be honest. Come on. Like, nobody's listening. What are they going to? It's 5:09 on a Thursday. There's the president's not in there. You're not meeting with the queen. Like, come on. Like,
we listened to 2 hours of Carlin versus Joe, 2 hours of a fill-in for Greeny, 2 hours of Theo, 3 hours of unsportsmanlike.
And then when Russo and Rizzo, the show trying to catch its footing
turn it off.
and get its foot in the door.
Turn it off.
That's when they turn it off. That is not support.
And once again,
That is phony.
Jeff Greenwald, one of our great MCs in there. I go, you guys had Theo on. He goes, yep, exactly. I go, what do you mean exactly?
I was so happy to see Jeff this morning.
We had we bonded in the drive to Miami camp. That never happened. That's another story.
I'm a little upset by that. Office not having Russo and Rizzo on. If you work, I know people don't know what a radio station is like. There's an office space, and usually the station's on. And on just the intercom, not that loud. Doesn't need to be a PA system, but in the background, just so you can hear it.
No.
I don't think that you care.
He doesn't care. He doesn't want to be on the show.
C-Cut, you don't care.
Listen, man, people have the right to listen to whatever they want to.
He doesn't even want to be on the show, Colin.
Listening, whatever the nonsense you're going with here.
I'm not going to commandeer someone's ear space
Look
for
at
2
Jeff.
hours.
Yeah, there's
Look at Jeff on the bottom.
Yeah, you.
Oh, now they got it on. Now they can hear us.
Oh, now they got it on. Yeah, because they heard. Okay? I listen, I don't like the favoritism. That's all I'm saying. You know, Theo's on. He's always on. Where the hell were we? Are we chopped? Oh, Russo and Rizzo kind of got to turn that you-know-what off.
Chopped liver.
What's going on?
Okay. Russo and Rizzo, 106.3 on ESPN here. You can catch us on socials as well. Colin Russo, Mike Rizzo. We talked about our MVP picks, our player award picks, our divisional winners, and our Super Bowl champion along with the NFC and AFC champions. If you missed any of that, you can catch that on the replay on YouTube, Twitter, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. It will be posted if you missed any of the show. Nonetheless, we move on here. Let's get to our 5 and 5. CK, you want to be involved? Is that okay with you? You want to be
Number one.
I'm happy here, guys.
Are you sure you want to be here?
I'm ecstatic.
All right, take it away.
Number one, Deshaun Jackson. He went on the herd with Colin Cowherd and basically said Davante Adams is as good as gone in Vegas. However, Davante Adams, he was adamant. He said he and Jackson have never spoken. Will Davante Adams be a Raider at the end of this year?
All right, number one, I think he'll be a Raider at the end of the year. Number two, I think that they definitely spoke. And what is Davante supposed to say?
Right.
This is PR 101. This is, I've never spoken to this guy. And he shoots him a text. Hey, what the hell are you doing with Colin Cowherd? Airing out, or I told you this in confidence. That type of thing. He's going to be a Raider, but that's my take. Totally did say it.
I think he did say it. I think him and Jackson had a conversation. I don't think he's going to be a Raider. I think the Raiders are going to go belly up this year because of quarterback play. I like Antonio Pierce, though, Colin. I do. I like Pierce as a head coach. I think he got a little lucky at the end of the year.
They play hard for him.
They do. But I think they got a little lucky at the end of the year winning as many games as they did. You know, Colin, our boss and content director, Brian Rowitz, is a huge Vegas Raider fan, so I want to tread carefully. But I think he's gone because I don't think the Raiders are going to be very good this year. I think he joins a contender. Maybe the Jets, if they're still around.
I think that's too writing on the wall. I feel like they'd ask for too much. I don't think they're going to make it happen. And if the Jets are good, Rodgers has never been a guy that needs more than one great receiver. If Garrett Wilson is anything that what people have lauded him to be in this offseason, I think he'll be just fine. I don't know if he'll need Devon.
Even if it's not New York, I think he joins a contender.
Okay, let's move on. Number 2.
Number 2.
How about them White Sox? 5-45 in their last 50
Except for last
games.
night, but yes, that's a 5-45 streak. Wow.
Remember the Philadelphia A's in 1916, 4-46? Who could have forgot the Cleveland Spiders? 1899 when they were 3-47. The Pittsburgh Alleghenies in 1890. They were 3-47.
You knew how to pronounce that.
I didn't.
You knew how to pronounce that.
Yeah.
I did too. Brian Rowitz didn't, our boss and content director, and
I have no shame in that.
Colin did not.
Philadelphia A's, mind you, won the title in 1909 and 1910, 1911. So that's a few years after. And then they won it again in 29 and 30.
A breakdown and rebuild. Does having a team this poor, this horrid kind of help Major League Baseball in a weird way?
It's an interesting talk, and I think it does. This is almost like when, who was it? The Sixers had that big losing streak in the NBA the same year that the Warriors started 20-0 in that 73-9 year. People are interested in all-time great badness.
Trust the process, right?
It's kind of funny. It's kind of a shot in the arm. Baseball is as level as it comes right now. It's anybody's show at the top. But the bottom being so lopsided, towards the end of the year when they're at the 29 win mark and everybody wants them to lose so they can break some records, I'm going to be into that. I just think it's fascinating watching how poor our professional team can be.
I love how bad they are being a Guardian fan. I can't stand the White Sox. I sports hate the White Sox. Colin, you have no idea how much my Peoria listeners who are listening, they know. Brother, I ripped on this team harder than anybody in the country. Pedro Grifol, I said, was doomed to be fired before the year. My favorite hockey on the show was the Tim Anderson versus the Guardians fight. Down goes Anderson! So I love that they're awful. And I do think it's good for the sport. I do think, like you said, we're all going to be watching to see how historically bad this could get.
It's intrigue. People are intrigued.
I mean, this is, Colin, I have to say, I think this is the worst baseball team I've ever seen in my life. I'm 29.
I watched a couple of Oakland A's teams the last few years too, and they
the A's,
are way worse than what
you could agree.
Yeah.
This team's worse than the A's were last year. It's not even close.
Hey, we saw the Orioles as like plus 400 underdogs in regular season games, which is unprecedented against the Astros a couple of years ago. And we see what the O's are now, so maybe White Sox fans, they've got a bright future ahead of them.
C-Cat, I was around, like I said, I was around this team. They have nothing coming up anytime soon. Outside of like Colson Montgomery, they really don't have much coming up.
And the Orioles were blessed with the best farm system baseball's seen in 10 years.
Right, and last thing on the Sox, you know, I would talk to angry Sox fans all the time. They're 3 years away from being like 3 years away.
Whew.
Yeah, it's bad.
Number 3.
Number 3.
UConn. Russo, you're familiar.
No, it's his squad, man.
My Huskies.
They are considering joining the Big 12, but talks have stalled. Does UConn in the Big 12 make a lick of sense?
So I think the people that are hating on this have no idea how the finances of collegiate conferences work. UConn spends money like a Power 5 conference in basketball. They spend it like it's almost a football team. And because of that, despite you winning championships, you accumulate debt. They pay their coaches a whole lot of money. They pay the assistants a whole lot of money. They need the Big 12 money. They're in debt, and the taxpayers are not paying it off. Let's just put it that way. Governor Ned Lamont over in Connecticut is not cutting any checks. My point is, they need the Big 12. I don't love it. I love the rah-rah of the Big East and the grittiness, but a bunch of these small, Catholic schools is not going to carry, UConn
Is it the American?
what?
Does UConn play in the American?
No, they're playing Big East.
Thank you.
Big East. So that's Providence, Nova, DePaul, Georgetown, small schools. They don't have to deal with the football program. UConn does. And because of that, they need the Big 12.
Yeah, I think they need a conference. I'm going to go back to what I said about Notre Dame. Obviously, Notre Dame being an independent, a little different. But I think nowadays you have to you have to put your wagon on some sort of conference.
A ton of money into it.
Yeah.
You get a ton of money as a school.
And the Big 12, Colin, is amazing at basketball. Agreed?
Agreed.
I mean, I think by
Better than
far.
the Big East. Better than the Big East.
Yeah, by far they're the best Power 5 basketball school. Now, UConn being a basketball school, they don't necessarily fall under the umbrella of, it's all about football. Football's the top dollar.
But Big 12, they take the basketball seriously. Compared
Exactly.
to the SEC and Big 10, it's an afterthought.
Yep, took the words right from my mouth, partner.
Yeah, but they need that. So I'm for it. Hopefully they could. I mean, it's not going to be till 2031 to begin with, so it's nothing pressing, but they'll figure it out.
C-Cat, I learned something new, though.
Yeah.
You want to know what I learned new?
What's that?
Ned Lamont's the governor of Connecticut.
Ned. Oh, that led. Okay. I had to mix that with a different Ned Lamont. Okay.
Who's the other Ned Lamont?
Exactly. I have no idea. No.
What do you mean you got to mixed up Ned Lamont?
That's the joke. No, I don't know who Ned Lamont is.
I just love, Colin being so close to the situation. He was just,
I thought you knew another Ned Lamont. I was confused.
Have you had dinner with him or something? Do you know?
I just know I'm from Connecticut.
That's why.
I know the governor.
I don't know.
The governor of Ohio is Mike DeWine.
Who's the governor?
From there, I know that.
I don't know. I know DeSantis. Is he the governor? Yeah, he is.
Of Florida, yes, of Florida.
Senator, governor, they kind of go hand in hand with me. I don't know.
Who's the governor of New York?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know either. Colin?
Wow.
Yeah, no idea. Probably one of the most important states in the union. No idea who the governor is.
Sarah Palin. That's who it is.
In New York?
Pretty sure.
No, she was like Alaska.
That's right. Got him mixed up again.
C-Cat.
Number 4.
Hey, have a water, C-Cat.
Number 4.
Urban Meyer was on his couch, or not really on the couch. He was
Uncle
having
Herb!
He was watching Miami, Florida, like all of we were at home. He saw 41-17, the U getting the win in the swamp. He said watching Florida is painful as the former Gators coach. My question to you guys is, if Florida calls, does Urban pick up the phone?
Colin, you don't like Uncle Herb?
As a Jacksonville Jaguar fan? Yeah, I got a poster of Urban on my wall. Urban set Lawrence back 4 years. He's one of the worst NFL, one of the most botched coaching hires in the history, the 21st century of all sports. That's how bad he was. That is as bad as it gets. Wasn't it? It was worse than anything the Browns have done with all their coaches.
I don't know, man. Hugh Jackson bringing him back after 0-16. Colin was pretty bad. And then
Team
firing
stunk.
him
Wait,
3
the
games.
Jags won 1 game that year, so keep in mind.
You fired him 3 games in after you brought him back from 0-16. See, I had a bit in Peoria. Do you remember when Urban Meyer was calling everybody losers?
Yes.
Losers! We had a fun bit with it. It became a staple of the show. I like Urban because he gave me a national championship. Colin, obviously there have been some off-the-field things with the whole bar incident. Things we're not going to get into.
Kicking the kicker.
Exactly. Loser! But
Film room, unqualified coaching assistant.
exactly. Losers! But if Florida called, I think he'd talk to him. Yeah, I think he'd pick up the phone. I don't know if he'd take the job.
Would Florida call him?
Oh, yeah. Dude, they're so desperate right now. I go back, Colin, we've done 3 shows. I think this is the 3rd time I brought it up. They ran Dan Mullen out after losing 2 games and going to a New Year's Six Bowl. They are a mess.
Do they call Lane Kiffin from Ole Miss?
Possibly. I mean, would Lane want to leave Ole Miss?
Right. How much of a better job is Florida than Ole Miss?
Really?
Substantially.
Really?
Substantially.
And Herb said that, I believe, in the
better football players, way more NIL, more of a footprint, national champions. Yes.
I won't back.
You have less in-state competition for recruits.
Lane Kiffin, Ole Miss is not endgame. He wants a bigger job. Whether it's Florida or not is one thing.
He's had bigger jobs, though. USC fizzled out. Tennessee fizzled out.
That's the game. You got to circle back. And he wants a bigger job.
Okay. Listen, I'm not a Lane Kiffin hater or anything. I just don't know if he would leave Ole Miss, good situation, for Florida, a mess of a situation.
He'll have all the resources he needs. Sort of that's what you need. Number 5.
Number 5.
Happy NFL kickoff, you heathens. Where does the NFL opening day rank among major sports openers?
Colin, I think, to your point, man, like, I think tonight's an important game. I think tonight is a great game. I think Kansas City and Baltimore are probably destined to play each other in the AFC. But I think because we have a game tomorrow, we have games Sunday, we have games Monday.
Good college game Saturday.
Yeah, I'm not like, oh my God, it's opening night. Like, opening day of baseball, I think, is better just because I'm obsessed with fantasy baseball. I've been in this league for 15 years. Finally, baseball season is back. I have box scores.
That's a great
to
opening
check.
day. It's better than the NBA.
Yeah.
It's better than the NHL.
For sure. I just think with how, like, schedule-oriented, if that makes sense, the NFL is, I don't think, like, tonight is like, oh, here we go.
I think
you got it to, like...
Also dominating a number of days of the week. I think
that's the point I was trying to make.
Almost inverted.
Of the whole week thing.
Better for ratings, but in terms of feel. I mean, what I'm going to include? I don't know if this counts. NCAA tournament. Does that count?
I'd count it. It's
What,
not
you mean,
the
like Midnight
opening.
Madness? Like
No,
March
just
Madness.
the first day of March Madness.
That's
not the first
opener, though.
Not the first four. Like, Colin, you know how we do the first four? I'm not talking about the first four.
I feel like when that opening day is sort of a lot of people's regular season for college basketball.
It's true. Yeah.
That's like that's the first day people will tune in.
My other off the beaten path option, how about starting your major season in golf? Starting with the Masters.
Yeah, that's
kind of hard to beat that.
I agree.
Yeah.
Kentucky Derby.
I'm not a horse guy. My whole family is. My whole family's obsessed with horses. I've never...
You don't get into it either?
I never did. Like, my brother, my dad, they'll have like 16 horses they got odds on and this and that. Oh, look up. I'm not that guy. I'll tune in just because it's a family thing. But, Colin, I think the opening day of the NFL would have been bigger if they played on Sunday, the weekend of Labor Day.
Do you get into the Australian Open for tennis at the opening of the season?
No, I've watched one tennis match in my life.
All right, will you watch the two Americans play tomorrow night, Tiafoe and Fritz?
Colin, you might mute my mic on this. I know ESPN has a mega deal with tennis until like 2037. They just signed it. Dude, I'm so cool on the tennis. Like, put it on Peacock. What if you want to watch tennis? Go pay for it.
They'll find
I'm sick of seeing it on ESPN. I'm sick of seeing it on major cable. I don't care about tennis.
I love it. I think tennis.
Maybe I'm alone on this, but like,
is the ultimate,
paywall it.
The ultimate individual sport. One-on-one for 5 hours.
I'd rather see Premier League soccer not behind a paywall than tennis.
Wrestling's the number one-on-one sport.
Wrestling?
Yeah. Like not pro wrestling, but amateur wrestling, college wrestling, Olympic wrestling, that's number one.
But it's not
sport,
as long. It's not as grueling.
I don't know, man. You wrestle one match in your life,
I mean,
whether you
isn't
change
golf,
your mind.
Isn't golf like the most ultimate, you know?
But that's not one-on-one.
But I'm
That's
talking about, like,
one-on-one
one-on-one.
as in myself. Like, it's one versus
But you're
me.
battling yourself
how
on the
about this?
course.
For the first time since Andy Roddick, I think 2009 or 2010, the United States is going to have an American in the final. The semifinals are coming up. Have an American in the final of the U.S. Open.
What time is this?
Tomorrow night. I think it's at 7:30.
Brother, that's got AEW All Out Wrestling pay-per-view. I already spent $25. No chance.
You pre-buy your AEW pay-per-view?
You buy them, it's a bundle package. So I got all in 2 weeks ago. Got All Out.
The funniest.
Will you tune in to Fritz and Tiafoe?
No, dude. There's football on tomorrow.
We're gonna see
Absolutely
an American.
Not. I just told
represent our country.
Colin, I
US
just told you to paywall the sport, and I'm sick of seeing it on major networks.
We're gonna get you into tennis. I love tennis.
Terry brought it up. You're weirdly into tennis.
We gotta watch. I'm gonna do a watch party, and we're gonna watch the 2009 Wimbledon final. Nadal Federer. That.
My
is
brother,
competitive
my
sports.
brother, like you, is into tennis. Quick C-Cat story. Remember when we all went to WWE in Fort Lauderdale?
Sure.
Who was the love couple? What are their names?
Yeah, Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan.
C-Cat stands up. It's my favorite moment of the night.
Star-crossed lovers.
One of my favorite C-Cat moments ever. They show the two coming out. C-Cat stands up. Nobody's talking. It just goes, true love, on the top of his lungs. I thought it was the funniest thing you've done.
I think amateur wrestling is so that wrestling is so nonsense.
It's an art. You wouldn't understand it.
Art.
Hold on. It takes a palate. It takes an entertainment palette, and you just don't have the level of it. It's okay.
You and our engineer, our chief
engineer,
answer
at the
Druda.
beginning, and then you said it. You're not there yet.
I've been trying.
I agree with the palette comment.
I've been trying to work Dave Druda into the show, and I finally get a chance to. You and Druda love the WWE.
I think it's a bunch of nonsense.
His son Dom had what mask did he have? The
Fiend.
That was the best part of the night,
Rest
and
in peace.
they were on stage for. They were on stage for
nonsense.
60 seconds.
Yeah.
The Six, are they called?
Yeah.
They were on stage for 60 seconds. I look back at Dave and Dom. I go, that's it? They go, tune in next week. I go, man.
What a load of crap that is. Fun product in person.
Hang on. You were going crazy for someone. You're
Randy
not
Orton.
off the hook.
Randy Orton.
Mainstream.
Randy Orton.
MJ had the move of the night, though. And what was the move of the night? Leaving before the main event was over.
Left.
So
Nobody leaves.
Nobody left.
Nobody leaves early at WWE. I'll give them that. Nobody leaves early. One of the strangest things I've ever seen in my entire life. Nobody leaves early. Even people leave early. The Super Bowl early.
I'll convert
Nobody.
you. I'll show you a couple of 5-star matches.
Dude, Colin, we are not waiting 2 hours in traffic to see an RKO.
Nobody
I'm
leaves
sorry.
WWE early.
We are not doing that.
Yeah, that's a great thing about wrestling. There's no offseason, by the way, so there's no opener.
Did that guy end up winning in Germany?
The German guy won in Germany.
Oh, shocker.
Let's end this. That's Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo here. That's CCAP Behind the Glass. Russo and Rizzo live here on ESPN 106.3. If you want to make any bets this weekend, Lord knows the lines are out. Go check it out at Hard Rock Bet. Sports betting is legal in Florida on Hard Rock Bet, Florida's only legal sportsbook app. Never before in September have you been able to legally bet on football. This year, for the first time ever, people in Florida can bet on football to kick off this season. Bet on this week's games on who you think will win the division, conference, even who will win it all. They got the futures set for you. Try Hard Rock Bet now and get up to $100 back if your first bet does not win. First bet can be parlays, props, overs, and more. It is up to you. Try Hard Rock Bet anytime. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Call 1-888-ADMIT-IT. Russo and Rizzo, we got our punchline picks. 6 games that Rizzo and I are taking against Theo and C-Cat. Loser has to do stand-up comedy. We get into more of that next. It's Russo and Rizzo on 106.3 ESPN.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Tee up your taste buds with the ultimate pairing, great food and golf. Theo Dorsey here at the House in West Palm Beach, overlooking the park's world-class 18-hole golf course. The House offers coastal American dishes that will satisfy anyone's palate. The House is open Thursday through Sunday for lunch, brunch, and dinner. Stop by for an entree and receive a free round at the park's The Lit 9 Par 3 course. On the House. Visit thehousewestpalm.com for their full menu and to make reservations.
Hey, it's Josh Cohen for the Accident Attorneys, Anajar and Levine. Car accidents, truck accidents, slip and fall, trip and fall. Did you get injured on the job? Workers' comp problems? My friends Mark Anajar and Glenn Levine, they will fight for you. Remember, they do not get paid unless you get paid, and they will fight to get you the maximum compensation you know you deserve. Here's what you do. You just call. Call Anajar and Levine for your absolutely free consultation. Do not settle for just any attorneys. Demand Anajar and Levine and demand the Anajar and Levine difference. It takes just one phone call to begin to take back control of your life. So do that. Take back control of your life. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-FREE. 1-800-747-3733. Anajar and Levine, Accident Attorneys. Take back control of your life.
If you are picking fruit or trimming trees or vegetation, always carefully look first for power lines and stay away from them. You can be seriously injured or killed if you or any object you are holding or standing on, such as tools or ladders, touches a power line. Make sure you and anyone else you are near stays at least 10 feet away from neighborhood power lines and at least 30 feet away from larger power lines. Learn more at FPL.com.
Hey, this is the Fat Jack, and football season is here. Are you ready to make some money? Have you bet on sports before? That probably did not go great. I can help you make money. Go to fatjacksports.com and get dialed in to turn a profit. The picks are emailed to you. They're on your personal portal on the website, and you can pay less than $50 a week for longer packages to make money betting this football season. Fatjacksports.com, the only place you need to go. 100% transparent, and will turn you profit this season at fatjacksports.com.
These days, everything seems so expensive. Food, clothes even. So let's think long-term real quick. Wouldn't you rather be driving around in a fuel-efficient new Kia from Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach? I mean, that could save you mucho dinero back in your pocket right now. Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach is under construction and overstocked, so they are making deals that other dealers won't like. Brand new 24 Kia Fortes for only $99 a month, plus 0% APR financing is available. And they want your old car. Get up to $6,000 over Kelly Blue Book fair market value for any trade. So what are you waiting for? Get to Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach today. Call 800-NEW-KIAs or visit online at greenwaykiawestpalmbeach.com. Qualified applicants through KMF. 24-month lease, $24.99 due at signing. 10,000 miles per year. Security deposit waived, plus tax, tag, and $9.99 admin fee. Negative equity refinance. Discount includes all factory rebates to dealer. Offers don't combine. Expires 11/5/24.
We want to see ya in a Greenway Kia.
A great fantasy football season starts with a great fantasy football draft party. So get your season started at Duffy's. Enjoy private party spaces, over 80 TVs at every location, free Wi-Fi, award-winning burgers and jumbo wings, and 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. Visit Duffy'sMVP.com to book your party, and if you're drafting from the home turf, Duffy's has you covered. Be the MVP of your draft party and order your party platters at Duffy'sMVP.com. Duffy's, our game is always on.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Russo and Rizzo continuing on here on ESPN 106.3, live here in the City Place Studios in downtown West Palm. My name is Colin Russo, joined by Mike Rizzo. C-Cat behind the glass reluctantly.
Yeah. Does he want to be here?
Does
he want to be here?
It's Russo and Rizzo, presented in part by our pals at the Boca Bowl, the annual Boca Raton Bowl's ABC Supply Great Chefs Tailgate Showcase, presented by Boca Raton Innovation Campus and CP Group. Heats up on Tuesday, October 15th from 6 to 8:30 p.m. Join ESPN West Palm's Theo Dorsey at Brick in Boca Raton as dozens of local chefs, breweries, and cocktail masters serve their favorite tailgate classics. Tickets are on sale now, include all food samplings, entertainment, beer, wine, cocktails, and soft drinks. Visit spiritofgivingnetwork.org/events to purchase your ticket today. So I guess our audience maybe doesn't understand the wager that, theoretically speaking, which you hear 2 to 4 weekdays right here with Theo Dorsey and C-Cat. That's C-Cat's #1 show.
Yeah.
We have a wager with them, and it's early on, but this is week 1 of it. So the wager is, we're calling it Punchline Picks. And the rules are, Mike and I as a group have to decide 6 games to pick against the spread, college or NFL. And C-Cat and Theo have to do the same. They could be the same picks. They don't have to be separated. You don't have to secure one and hold it. But that is the rule. And there's one that is a lock. Our lock has to hit. It's worth more points. So we're going to do this throughout the year. We're going to track records. We're going to be posting all over social so you can follow along. We got our picks. Before we give our picks, I didn't even hear yours.
Yeah.
You want to give us yours? But before you do that, to preface what the punishment is, the losers, as a group, the twosome, the losers have to go to a stand-up comedy place, whatever. Get up on stage, do a set that's prepared by the other two.
Whoa. I don't remember that part of it.
To start, yeah. And then you have to go off the dome after you already bombed the crowd with our bad jokes.
All right. I could win the crowd back. Yes, that is the wager.
The rumor,
stand-up comedy together.
Colin, the rumor is that C-Cat is potentially bombing this on purpose so he could do stand-up comedy.
I don't think you could
and
bomb,
live out his dream.
I don't think you're good enough at betting to bomb on purpose.
I don't think almost anybody is. I think 99% of bettors are not good enough to purposely lose.
He's trying to lose so he could do stand-up.
This is just a win-win situation for me because if I win, me and Theo are better than you two, and that feels good. And if we lose, I get to finally try stand-up comedy for the first time.
See, I knew he liked Theo's show more. Sorry.
You want to hear our picks?
Yeah.
Yes.
So Theo went with the Ravens +3 against his favorite team, the Kansas City Chiefs.
All right, so the Ravens have to win tonight. I'm looking forward to them losing.
Is that not a little shambolic? I felt bad for Theo having to do that.
End with your lock.
Okay, here's the problem. The lock we didn't decide until the very end. So I'll tell you the lock at the end.
Hang on. So there's
That's what I'm
already
saying.
an
Tell
asterisk.
us the lock at the end. All right, I'm fine with that. Ravens you need tonight.
They're already cheating.
Theo picked the Browns -2.5.
Woo!
The Jets +4.5. Then we got to my picks. I went to college football first with Texas -7.5 on the road at the Big House.
Wow.
They got to defend the SEC crown, man. Like, there's a lot of eyeballs on them in their conference. I like the Longhorns.
On the road.
On the road. It's not that loud there.
The Big House?
It's not that loud there.
Have you played there?
Dude, you're out of your mind. I've been there.
Could have.
The Big House is loud.
Hey,
I've heard
C-Cat.
3 stadiums in the Big Ten. Iowa, Michigan, and Ohio State.
Hey, partner, I've been to that hellhole. It's loud, dude.
It's not as loud as a couple of places I've been to. But
he's
I
referring
digress.
to.
Give me an example.
He's a Penn State guy. He's referring to that
fair.
ridiculous whiteout.
Texas.
One game a year, Penn State has it. One.
Multiple. I stay in college football. Utah -15. First conference game in their new conference in the Big 12.
Who
They are
got this
going to
week?
send a message.
Who they got this
Baylor. Utah's going to cover the number
big
of
spread,
15
Colin.
against
Ran on his way
Baylor.
out.
And then I went back to the NFL, and I picked the Titans +4.5. And the stat that I gave, and I'm really proud of here, quarterbacks that are drafted #1 overall, if they start the first game of their season, their debut year in the NFL, they are 0-14-1.
So-
0-14-1 since 2015.
0-14-1.
Since 2015.
Against the spread or
2005,
win or loss?
excuse me.
Win or loss or against the spread?
It is. They haven't won the game and they haven't covered against the spread. The numbers differ for a little bit.
That's their lock. I'm surprised by that. I think
too.
I think Titans are going to.
That's actually not the lock.
Oh.
The thing is,
How many
Theo's
games
pick.
How many
did you
games do you have?
freaking pick?
8?
Yeah,
We're
what is
picking
this?
6.
You told me to give the lock at the end when I already said the lock. Theo's pick, Ravens +3, is our lock.
Wow.
Exactly.
Tonight.
He was supposed to decide
We
our
needed that.
lock.
We needed that,
But I
Mike.
bullied him into the
We needed
Ravens
that.
pick.
Okay.
I bullied him. I'm exceptionally confident
So
tonight.
the lock is worth more points. Everything else is worth 1 point. We'll track a win-loss record as the season goes along. Your lock tonight is the Ravens underdogs against the Chiefs. What is it, 3.5?
It is 3.
3 flat. So you could even push with that. We'll have to figure out the ruling with that.
Lamar Jackson, greatest quarterback of all time as an underdog. 93% he covers.
Oh, boy.
10 outright wins.
You know what that is? You know what they call that in Vegas? They
What?
call it an emotional bet.
They do.
I just gave you a number.
They call me. They say that's an emotional bet.
Correct. C-Cat, you can't see
I
him
was
on the
raised
YouTube.
not to make an emotional bet.
C-Cat, they can't see you, but you are wearing a There you are. Turn around for me, partner. Turn around. Justin Tucker. Yeah, he's got a Tucker jersey.
All right, so there's your picks. Mike, I want you to give your actually no.
Well, do you want me to just give our picks?
Let's do it.
Okay. I'm going to start in college first, C-Cat. You ready? We got our chief engineer, Dave Druda, back there as well. Shout out, Dave. All right, our first pick, my alma mater.
Oh.
Because this is old Ohio State. Go Bobcats, baby.
Yeah.
We got the Bobcats
Give
at
us
home.
Ohio.
At Peyton Stadium.
+2 at home.
Let's go.
Home underdogs.
Let's go. Come on, Kyle
Ohio.
Navarro.
I took Ohio last week with our pals at Hard Rock, and Ohio it's against at Syracuse +17.5, covered by the skin of their teeth. Lost by 16.
Yeah,
that's what we do.
I'm the emotional one. Yeah.
And Anthony Tyus, the third.
That's a good line.
200 yards rushing against the mighty Syracuse.
Give us Ohio. South Alabama lost by like 19 points at home last week. Why are they favored?
C-Cat, let's go.
No.
Stand up and cheer.
I'm American,
This
not
is
white.
old
So that's
Ohio
all right,
State.
take it easy. Next one. There's
All right,
our
next.
Ohio.
Next, staying in college. Iowa State at Iowa. We have Iowa -3.5 at home. We have Iowa at home -3.5.
Iowa's different this year.
Cade McNamara, look out.
40-0. That is like the moon landing in
I read
Iowa City. That is crazy.
See, I read an article today saying, are overs for Iowa back?
-3.5.
That's a lock, no? It's
not
our
our
lock.
lock.
It's not our lock.
We like that.
That's not our lock. All
Let's
right?
move on. Go ahead.
It ain't my lock, but
Go
it's
ahead.
a lock.
So those are two games that we
All
do
right.
not have
And
coincided.
then
Here's another one that we have coincided.
This is the fun one. We have Michigan plus 7.5. You have Texas.
Home dogs plus over a touchdown? Give us that.
The number's there for a reason.
They're going to muck up this game. This game screams 21-17. Screams.
Quinn Ewers is going to be dancing all over the big house. It's going to be empty. It'll be the small house. You're saying
You're saying Arch Manning is going to get tick at the big house.
Not going to happen, pal.
All right, let's move on.
All right,
NFL games.
NFL now. So we'll give our lock at the end. This is the biggest spread of the NFL slate, and we took it. We have the Patriots at the Bengals, and we have the Bengals. Wink, wink. We have the Bengals covering 8.5 at home. Now, I'm a little worried if Jamar Chase doesn't play. I still think they're going to be able to cover
Pat's
it,
gonna
Colin.
Be bad. I think that's it. Pat's going to be bad.
Colin, I think they're going to be able to cover it, though, with T. Higgins.
At home, Patriots got nothing going for them.
Oh, they're awful. Do we all agree? I don't want to put words in your guys' mouth, but I said the Patriots are the worst team in the NFL this year.
Let's see. Let's find out. -8.5, the Bengals. We got that one.
Okay.
Let's go to the next one.
All right, next one. Titans at the Bears. We have Bears -3.5. I told you guys I'm drinking the Caleb Williams
There's
juice.
our other flip.
Yeah, so we have two flips.
You're talking about number one overall picks. You know what your problem is? Bears are not necessarily a number one overall team.
Right. They got that via the Panthers.
They won 7 games last year. This is not a number one overall team. This is not the Panthers and the Jaguars of late.
You have a banana. So Will Levis eats the whole banana, by the way. He eats the peel and all, and he eats mayonnaise with a spoon.
Former Penn Stater, well aware of him. We were classmates.
That's right.
He eats mayo with a spoon and eats the skin on a banana. You're out, buddy. You're going to lose that one.
Okay, so that's our
second NFL game.
And here's our lock.
All right, our lock, the Buccaneers -3.5 at home against the Commanders. Now, give me that again.
Sitting here again.
Now, I took this for a number of reasons. I like Jane Daniels. I want the record to be shown. That's a tough stadium to go to. You know they got a pirate ship there?
Yeah.
That place rocks.
Pretty well renowned, yeah.
That place rocks, man.
That's a good pick. I think that's a good pick. They lost Canales. I think they might feel that.
They still have Mike Evans. Rashad White's a good running back.
Baker, I think they woke something up. He got paid.
Yeah, dude.
Give us Baker. I like Baker. I've always been a fan of him. One of the great games I ever watched, Oklahoma, Georgia in the Rose Bowl in 2018.
Fun.
Great.
Once again, though, Ohio hosting Southern Alabama. We have Ohio +2. We have Texas at Michigan. Michigan +7.5. We have Iowa State at Iowa. We have Iowa -3.5. We have the Patriots at the Bengals. We have the Bengals -8.5. We have the Titans at the Bears. We have the Bears -3.5. We have the Commanders at the Bucks. We have the Bucks -3.5, and they are our lock. How can you be part of the Caleb Williams fan club with me and not pick him 3.5 against
the Titans have a completely revamped defense, new coaching staff.
The second worst team in the NFL, the Tennessee
Titans.
Titans.
Derrick Henry.
You want to get more puzzled? Earlier today, I picked the Bears to go to the Super Bowl.
And they're not winning week 1.
This is why you guys are unserious bettors.
Colin,
unserious.
See, I look at these spreads. If they're 3.5, it's who you think is going to win the game.
An unserious program precedes us on these very airwaves. Theoretically speaking, catch them 2 to 4 days.
Yeah, and CCAT doesn't apparently want to be a part of our show.
Reluctantly is here by...
According to Theo, I got the tape back. Theo told me, he goes, dude, CCAT doesn't want to be on your show.
He never said that.
4 to 6, Russo and Rizzo here live. You can catch it on socials at ESPN West Palm, ESPN 106.3 FM on your radio dial. That was Mike Rizzo. My name is Colin Russo. CCAT reluctantly joining us behind the glass. Those were our picks for our punchline picks of the week. Week 1, we'll be tracking at the end of the season who is going to be on stage at a comedy club giving improv stand-up.
You can find the picks on social, too.
Find the picks on social at ESPN West Palm on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, everywhere you could find it. It's Russo and Rizzo. We'll close out with a little locker room stuff next. You're listening to Russo and Rizzo, ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Hey, it's Josh Cohen for the Accident Attorneys, Anajar and Levine. Car accidents, truck accidents, slip and fall, trip and fall. Did you get injured on the job? Workers' comp problems? My friends Mark Anajar and Glenn Levine, they will fight for you. Remember, they do not get paid unless you get paid, and they will fight to get you the maximum compensation you know you deserve. Here's what you do. You just call. Call Anajar and Levine for your absolutely free consultation. Do not settle for just any attorneys. Demand Anajar and Levine, and demand the Anajar and Levine difference. It takes just one phone call to begin to take back control of your life. So do that. Take back control of your life. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-FREE. 1-800-747-3733. Anajar and Levine, Accident Attorneys. Take back control of your life.
Is racking up tens of thousands of dollars in student loan debt really worth the 4-year degree? Not a lot of people think so anymore. A recent Wall Street Journal poll found that 56% of us believe that a skills-based education, that's a smarter investment than a 4-year degree. So why waste that time and money when there's an alternative right here in North Palm Beach that teaches the skills that people can actually use in today's world, and you can get those skills in just months, not years. I'm talking about CSB Media Arts Center, the home of Connecticut School of Broadcasting, which provides hands-on training in audio and video production, podcasting, sports broadcasting, social media marketing, filmmaking, coding, and so much more. For over 60 years, CSB has placed thousands of graduates in careers. Take a moment and visit gocsb.com to schedule a tour. That's gocsb.com.
She ain't gon' tie me down while you on the road. Buying all the shirts, all the hats, all the clothes, what you want right now.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Closing out the program here on a Thursday afternoon, the opening day of NFL football with the Ravens taking on the Chiefs tonight. Got a full slate of primetime games over the weekend with the Eagles taking on the Packers tomorrow in Sao Paulo. You get the Rams going to Detroit, taking on the Lions on Sunday Night Football. And you get the Jets taking on the Niners on Monday Night Football. Packed weekend of football. We got our bets in. We got our predictions in. Russo and Rizzo, I've got you covered on our futures. So we're all set there. My name is Colin Russo, Mike Rizzo there. Christian Cat behind the glass. Let's get to a couple audios to react to. Let's go to the locker room right now. Mike, take it away.
Yep, folks, the locker room segment where we go through some of the best sounds we've heard in sports. Colin had a combined no-hitter last night in the Cub game. Let's take a listen to the final out.
Grounder to short. Dansby to first. There it is. No-hitter. Shota Imanaga, Nate Pearson, Porter Hodge. A combined no-no.
Go Cubs, go, Colin. My listeners in Peoria certain going crazy today. Where you at with combined no-hitters?
I like the. I have no problem with combined no-hitters. It's not as much of a. It's just as much of a fielding thing and a defensive thing as it is a pitcher thing, and it's a testament to the bullpen like that. Cubs have been playing absolutely fantastic. You wonder if it's a little too late. They're still 4.5 games back. They'd really need to make a run here, but they're hot. They're as hot as any team in the league right now. There's nothing wrong with the Cubs in my book. I like rooting for them. It's a fun fan base. Young enough team. I'm okay with it. And I'm okay with the combined no-hitter. I don't hate on it like everybody else does. It's not the same as a perfect game with the pitcher. That's all pitcher. But combined no-hitter, that's just a good day.
Yeah, it's
a good
fun.
day from the arms.
It's
Nothing
fun.
wrong with that.
Shota Imanaga is a fun pitcher as well.
Had a great year.
Outside of the Cubbies beating my Guardians in 2016, I don't have any ill will toward him. I damn near cheered for him when I was in Peoria. Colin, Caleb Williams got named a captain. We have the Bears as one of our games for our picks this week at 3.5. Let's hear Caleb on being named a captain as a rookie.
I'm extremely grateful. I can't really think of how many rookies are captains with, especially with a team so talented like this. I guess you can say vet guys. We're a pretty young team, but we have obviously a good amount of vets on this team. And so to be named a captain by my peers and colleagues and my teammates and my friends and brothers, ready to go. We're excited.
Does this kid ever do anything wrong?
That's as PR as it comes.
I love it, though. That's the answer you like.
Let's hold off in the statue.
That's the answer you like, dude.
Yeah.
Kid's never been in trouble. People yelling at him for painting his nails and whatever, dude.
I agree. That's a little played
exactly.
up. It's a rookie quarterback, the number 1 overall pick. He's got to be a captain. And second of all, through Hard Knocks, they're going to puff it up. I understand, but it sounds like he's done everything pretty well. They got a good team around them. If anything, this is expected. And he said the right thing. He's just trying to get away from the media. He understands how they take things and run. So he's playing it smart. Can't fault him for that. Stay out of the way and do your thing.
Colin, Tua Tagovailoa talked about having the it factor. He was at his press conference. God. A reporter asked about the quote-unquote it factor. Let's hear Tua Tagovailoa talking about the it factor.
Like the it factor? I've had the it factor. No, I've had the it factor since I was in high school, then going into college, and then coming here. That's how I've always viewed myself as going out and competing.
So, Colin, apparently we have a real issue on this show. Do you want to know what the real issue is?
What's that?
You and me, you and me, you and I, whatever it is, we have no idea how to pronounce Tua's last name.
Tagovailoa.
Say it again, C-Cat.
Yeah, Colin got it right. Tagovailoa.
I can do it when I want.
How about this? How's Tua sound? Does that sound all right?
Tua sounds good to me.
Okay. Is Tua all right? All right, I'm just going to go with Tua.
It sounds like Tua's the type of player that needs cupcakes on every birthday. He needs
Theo had cupcakes today.
He needs a new backpack every Friday. He is the type of guy where you need to make him a home-cooked meal when he got his shoes wet on the way back from school. I cannot deal with how sensitive this guy is.
So you had a problem with the Flores stuff?
Flores, I agree, calling him out probably to a fault. But at a certain point, it sounds like Tua just he takes the criticism a different way than most. A lot of players would be challenged by having that type of confrontation in a good way, and it would light them up. It shuts him down. And whether that's a it factor thing, I would say no. I think you could be offended, you could be motivated by it, but it sounds like he was insulted and hurt by it. Because of that, I'm off this train. And the it factor, where? Show me.
I mean, he did throw for a tremendous amount of yards last year.
Oh God, who cares?
I've learned through Dolphin fans, Colin, they capitulate at the end of the year, and it is what it is.
Capitulate.
We said that in the booth. What does capitulate mean?
Like blowing it. Look it up. Capitulation. It's a soccer term. You got to realize I'm a miserable Manchester United fan, and I got to come up with every term in the book for my team.
So
failing.
Manchester United's team, word of the week is capitulate.
No, we were up 2-0 at half. We lost 3-2. It was a complete capitulation of the second half.
I think you got that wrong. I got 19 seconds left.
Did not.
We'll talk about what capitulate means tomorrow on Russo and Rizzo, same time, 4 to 6. You catch on ESPN 106.3. That was Mike Rizzo. Colin Russo here, sending you off into Thursday. Enjoy the game. We'll be back at it tomorrow. You're listening to Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Tired of being sidelined by a sports injury? Get back in the game with Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Whether you're a professional athlete or even a weekend warrior, you can get back to doing what you love with our compassionate orthopedic